Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Duria, and I'm with Peregrine Academic Services. I just want to welcome you to today's webinar about the B-School connection and linking application with theory. A couple of the housekeeping items that I want to touch base on before we get started. I'm also joined by a few of my colleagues. A couple of them are also on the line. I've got Alima Jamiansuran and Kathy Henderson.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So they will be able to, during the webinar, answer any chat questions that you might input. You can input chat questions over, you should have a question box there, a chat box that you can submit questions during the webinar. If you want to, if you think of something during the webinar and you just want to get it out there, feel free to do that. I'll also open up the floor for some questions and answers at the end of the webinar. Additionally, I'll follow up with you guys with a recording of today's webinar, as well as a PowerPoint presentation of the current presentation that I'm going to give you, so that if you want to pass that on to colleagues, you can certainly do that as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So before we jump right into the B-School connection, I just want to point out and mention kind of the holistic mission of what Peregrine Global is. Peregrine Global, as we refer to it, is really made up of two entities, Peregrine Academic Services and Peregrine Leadership Institute. And both, whether it's through our higher education services or through our leadership services, our main mission is to actually make a difference and an impact in the world through education and leadership services. So again, specifically to Peregrine Academic Services, which is where the B-School connection really falls under, we're striving to build thought partner relationships with our colleges and universities to, one, help measure and improve academic programs, and two, help give students the skills that they need to succeed not only in their academic programs, but also in their future professional careers. As you can see, we have quite a few higher education services and programs, and you'll even see some of our leadership services included in this list as well. On the far left, we've got the assessment services and all the different programs that we currently have assessment services for providing a metric for outcomes assessment. In the middle column there, you'll see we've got our educational programs listed with the B-School connection highlighted there. Some of our other educational programs include academic leveling courses, e-programs, some online leadership courses, and as well as a Write and Cite course. And so those are other educational type programs that we offer. And then of course on the far right, we've got the educational support services where we offer academic consulting, leadership development, some educational resources, and client administration sites for you to gather data. So coming back to the B-School connection, the B-School connection addresses several programmatic and institutional accreditation requirements related to these areas of general skills areas, foundational knowledge, global context, entrepreneurial skills, innovation, lifelong learning, and workplace application. All areas and requirements that you're going to see throughout the accrediting bodies as areas that they are looking for their institution and programmatic accreditation. So a key challenge for today's students is really often linking the theoretical concepts that are taught in the classroom with the application of these concepts in actual business, real world business. The B-School Connection Resource Center is really equipped with the tools to help narrow that gap and help students link the theory that they're learning in the classroom with the application of current events and current happenings that we're hearing about today, right now. And that's what's so great about the B-School Connection, is that it's current and it's going to be up to date for you. So while the overall aim of the B-School Connection, as I mentioned, is to bridge the gap between theory and application, it does this through various means and benefits. It provides online, easily accessible, low-cost weekly news content. It offers instructional and integration support for different activities and programmatic or curriculum integration. It fosters more informed and better engaged students, whether that's through the discussion board posts or other weekly activities that you might use. It brings a global and international dynamic into any classroom, and so it allows you to essentially globalize your curriculum and get students thinking holistically about how these different events are shaping the world and also directly impacting business that they are seeing and working with today. And then it develops the globally informed, career-ready graduates. The key features of the B-School Connection really are centered on the article summaries. So we provide article summaries through our advisory board that are organized by discipline, economic sector, region, competency, as well as summary type, or what I sometimes call the activity type. We also offer support and training available for the integration, so we can help you with quiz integration, case study, discussion questions, all those different activities that you can find yourself using with the B-School Connection. We can help bring some easy integration ideas directly to you. We also offer complimentary faculty training and a certification program, which would allow you to essentially go through and learn about the different integration options, some of the nuts and bolts of how to use the Resource Center, and ultimately, at the highest level of certification, we would help you actually develop an article summary that you could then publish on the Resource Center for other faculty members to use if they were to choose so. There are subscription options available for digital. We do offer digital subscriptions still through the B-School Connection program. It is not a requirement. If you've used the service or are aware of the service in the past, there was an automatic subscription that came with the Resource Center. That's no longer the case. So the Resource Center is a standalone service now. So I mentioned the article summaries before, and so where do these article summaries come from? Well, they're really coming from subject matter experts in academia. So we work with several different 15 or 16 folks in academia now who write for us on a weekly basis. They get the articles directly from Bloomberg, ported into our system as soon as they're published on the site, and then they can develop a article summary instantly for that article. And then those article summaries are published then at the end of at the very start of the week, then that following week for your immediate use. So the components of the article summaries really, so what the faculty advisory board member provides us is they take that full article, which is also available directly on the Resource Center. So again, if you've used the service in the past, students would have to leave the Resource Center to go find the article. That's no longer the case. The article can be directly read by the student or instructor on the Resource Center. And along with that article, that full article, they're going to have access to the article summary. The article summary will provide an abstract, some key learning points, quiz and discussion questions, oftentimes some short case study activities or other team activities that can be integrated into the curriculum. And then we also offer integration guides by discipline. And so those integration guides will, again, provide you with an easy, essentially kind of a plug and play sort of option for you to use the Resource Center. We try to take as much planning out of it for you and have it ready to use right away. So currently we organize the article summaries on the site by these areas. And so these are all the areas that you can narrow down your search when you're looking for summaries to use in your classroom. We've got the academic disciplines, you can see that list there, the regions, again, the competencies, the economic sector, and then the summary types. As I mentioned before, the article summaries are written by our advisory board members who are the subject matter experts. They're often instructors in the field. Actually, I think they all are instructors in the field. And they also, many of them have a personal experience working in their respective fields as well. So, you know, they're very well put together. You can see that this particular slide actually gives you a screenshot of what those look like. So each of the article summaries are going to have that tag there on how the reviewer then tagged that particular article for your search benefits. So with classroom integration, we offer quite a few different opportunities here. One would be a case study to help promote critical thinking skills. Case studies, you know, they're oftentimes, if you've used a service like Harvard Business Review or something like that, they're fantastic case studies and provide great content, but often they're also quite old. And so with the Resource Center, you can do short case studies to help your students really get them thinking about how things, the things that they're hearing about and reading about in the news today, and how the classroom concepts apply to those areas. Discussion board posts, again, that's a very easy way to integrate the B-School Connection program. Generally, you could take the discussion board questions directly from any particular news article or summary review and import those directly into perhaps an LMS system where you provide discussion board posts, and that will help foster student engagement regarding any particular issue or topic that you want them to engage with. Presentation skills can be sharpened through short presentations. Short papers can help promote critical thinking and the analytical skill development. And then team projects, again, help develop the oral and the written presentation skills, and then also foster student engagement with one another. And then the last one on the list is the quiz and exam feature. Again, I mentioned that the reviewers for us are writing the questions that you can then directly use based on that article. And now a very exciting feature, and I can talk more on it as well, is that you can develop quizzes and exams directly within the Resource Center and send those to the students so that they never have to leave the Resource Center. It's very easy. You can create student groups so that you can have multiple, if you teach multiple classes, administer quizzes that way. So it's a very exciting feature, and that feature has just been released this last August, and so we're quite excited about that one. Again, these next couple of slides just kind of go over the classroom integration options again, so I won't spend too much time on them. But the case study application can help instructors foster critical thinking on the events happening right now. Discussion board posts, again, are a very easy, very simple way to integrate and foster student engagement. Presentations based on any particular article or issue that it has maybe been written on within the Resource Center. Short paper to really promote the critical thinking and analytical skill development based on any particular topic that you're teaching in class. Team project, again, to help foster student engagement and get students thinking together and collectively about different things happening in the world today. And then again, the custom quiz or exam feature that I mentioned before. In regards to the quiz and the exam feature, I do want to point out that we have the instructors write the questions, or we have the advisory board members construct the questions in a way to hit several levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And so an article comprehension question, would really just be a focus on the students. Did the student read the article? Can they recall the content? So very kind of baseline, basic questions. The dig deeper questions are going to focus on the analysis and the synthesis. Can the student extend and evaluate information within the article? And then the evaluation type questions are really the link to the theory. Can the students link the information from the articles to the academic concepts and the theories that are being taught in class? So oftentimes these are going to be your short answer questions. One of the added features to the Resource Center is the weekly newsletter. And so we provide a custom newsletter option then for all of our resource users to give them the most recent weekly readings and article reviews for that week. And so these will generally be published late Sunday night, early Sunday morning. And then right away within your inbox, whether you're an instructor or you're a student, you'll have all of the most recent article reviews right at your fingertips first thing to start the week. Again, these can be customized, so if you're only interested in say accounting and taxation, then you can customize the newsletter to only show you those particular reviews. So I mentioned the classroom and curriculum integration guides before, but again, we understand that especially, it can be a very busy time of year and difficult to incorporate new applications into your classroom. And so the curriculum integration guides that we provide instructors really are designed, they provide syllabus-based examples of how to integrate the B-School connection into your curriculum. They also have rubrics, grading rubrics and tables that allow you to help you grade if you have a student do a presentation or short paper or anything like that. We provide those directly to you to help make the process much easier and faster. The faculty certification program really for us, we developed this to help enable you leverage all these tools to their fullest potential. And it can also provide you with some added professional development and additional credentialing. And so each level of certification fosters kind of that professional development, curriculum improvement and innovation, and accreditation type support so that your faculty members are constantly pushing themselves to develop professionally. It is a multi-leveled process, Again, this is very optional. This is just a complimentary service that we add as an added benefit if you were to choose to use it. There's level 1, which we call the qualified, level 2, expert, and level 3. At level 1, we're just essentially going to talk about the nuts and bolts of the Resource Center itself, and then talk about some integration options. Level 2 kind of just takes that a little bit further. And then level 3 is, where we would work with you to actually write an article summary for us that could be used in your classroom and if by other faculty members as well for publication on the Resource Center. So the B-School connection, some of the opportunities that it presents is that it can supplement text or other textbooks that you might use in your classroom, and it's a very affordable option to do that. We offer flexible integration within the classroom, really for any delivery modality, so this can be a great resource for both on-ground students or online students. And then there's the simple service adoption for higher education. The registration for this is very, very simple, very fast. If you're familiar with some of our other services, we try to make that process very, very easy for you. So that said, the B-School Connection is really a thought partner solution that is accreditation focused. It's something that we focus on, or that we believe provides students with a more globally informed and career-ready opportunity. It's course-ready and easy to implement, and it's a cost-effective solution. So the pricing, as I mentioned before, is $15 per student per year, and so that would provide a student with access for the entire year from the day that they registered, whether or not they have one class that they might use it in or multiple classes. That wouldn't matter. They're just going to pay that one fee of $15 per year, so it's very affordable in that sense. That is does not include digital subscription to Bloomberg Business Week, but again, as I mentioned before, you don't necessarily need that anymore in order to use the Resource Center because we provide access to the full articles right away. But that there is an option for that. And I can also provide you with next slide. Yeah. So the next slide actually has some demo instructions, and when I provide this to you later today after the webinar, you can use this link in that registration code provided there to go in and register and really kind of test out the Resource Center and see what its capabilities are and if it's something that you might be able to use. And that's really essentially the conclusion of the webinar. Here's some photos of our business development team. Alma's on the line. My name, obviously, Josh. I got Kathy on the line, and Christina's not. But any of us, I'm sure that you probably know many of us on this team, and we're always happy to help with any questions that you might have. So that said, I'd like to open it up to questions. Let's see. You can use. There should be a little icon that allows you to raise your hand to answer a question or to indicate that you have a question. If you do, we can unmute you and go ahead and address the question. So do we have questions out there?
Hi, Josh. As people are thinking of their questions, I have a question that I got asked on previous B-School Connection presentations.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, how much does it cost for faculty to use the Education Resource Center?
For faculty, we do a charge of just $3 if it's under a certain amount. So it'd be $3 per year. And essentially, that's just, uh, for us, that covers the cost. With more than 75 student registrations for that institution, we will provide faculty registrations without charge.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like we have a question
from Anatoly.
Anatoly. Go ahead, Anatoly. Can you hear us? I think we had you unmuted here.
Anatoly, I think you are self-muted. If you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. That is, click on that red microphone, or you can type.
Here we go. There's a type question. Feel free to type your question in there as well, Anatoly. I see that you did submit a...
Is faculty training included in the cost?
Faculty training is completely complimentary with all of our services. And so there is no cost for faculty training. And that goes to that. So I just want to clarify, faculty training is something that we're going to do regardless with you. Faculty certification is kind of another added bonus. That would just be going through the certification program. And that also there's no charge for that either.
We've got another question from Ahmad Shar. Please go ahead.
Ahmad, are you able to? I think you're unmuted. I'm not hearing. You might be able to. You might just submit your question through the type question. I'm not sure why the microphones don't seem to be working.
As Ahmad is typing his question, just wanted to add for the faculty training, as a lot of you are familiar with your accreditation requirements or for your just...
Hello?
Oh, go ahead. Yes, hi.
Yeah, so is there a kind of tentative period where faculty can use the system, so know about it more and assess the benefits from it, then engage the students and the whole university? Do you have kind of demo period where we can try and check it?
Absolutely. So when I let me see if I go back to that page there. When I conclude this webinar, I will provide you with these demo instructions. I'll provide you with a separate document actually as well, which will allow you to access and other faculty members to access the site for a period of I think it's about a month of access, and then that will allow you to go in and see the program and see what kind of application benefits you might have for it.
Excellent, thank you.
Absolutely. Advisory board. Could we know the profiles of academics or professionals involved? Absolutely. I mean, we used to provide that on the previous resource center, I know, and that's something that I've been working on to incorporate as well. I would say that we could probably have that up fairly quickly, and I think that would be great information. So you can see exactly who is writing the article summaries and the credentials. Currently, it's not available, but I can work on it. Any other questions out there? Currently, so another question came up. regarding the language of the quiz exam feature, yes, currently it is in English only.
Yes, Ahmad, you have another question?
Yes. So is it cloud-based, or how is it? Is it integrated, for example, with other EMS kind like of let's say Moodle?
It can be integrated through LMS systems. With the new relaunched version of the Resource Center, we would need to essentially just work with you and your IT folks to get that process started, and there would be some kind of testing back and forth to make sure it's working. But we can do what we call an LTI integration with the service. Yes.
So currently it's a cloud-based.
To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how to answer that question.
Okay.
It's currently, I mean, just the application bit is based on the web, but much of the services as far as the quiz feature, that's what we would be able to integrate in via LTI.
Okay, and one more question. Sorry for asking many.
Oh, no worries.
So the results of the quizzes, can they be considered also in your assessment system? For example, so we use this kind of things to do for example, the ACBSB accreditation. So is the result also can be integrated with the test that we're trying to get from you?
So our assessment services would be more appropriate for that use. Alma, and you feel free to jump in here.
Yeah, I think what he's asking is, can this be integrated into the current offerings we have with assessment? And at this point, no, right, Alama?
Right.
Yeah, at this point for ACBSP and or just for measuring student learning and for your assurance of learning, our customizable assessment tool would be more appropriate, and especially for the programmatic evaluation. And in the future, we do want to hope to have a test bank of questions available for more higher level Bloom's taxonomy and critical thinking and so forth. But for your purposes of meeting accreditation requirements and measuring student learning, the assessment tool would be most appropriate. And especially with the ACBSB, we know they want external benchmarking and so forth.
I see. Thank you so much.
Okay, I see another question here. So there's a question in regards to the types of questions offered for the quizzes. So the question is, are the questions only related to the articles? No. So again, we have the instructors write the questions in a way. Some of the questions that you'll see on that quiz feature will be specific to that article. Whereas others, we also ask our advisory board members to provide, questions that are higher level and more concept based rather than article specific. And so you'll see a range of those questions involved. So you could really, you could develop quizzes in a way that would be just to test a student knowledge on to make sure that they read certain articles throughout the week, or you could also develop quizzes that would ask questions that are more concept-based type questions.
If you could go back, Josh, to the types of questions that shows different Bloom's taxonomy levels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would answer your question, Anatoly, as to what kinds of questions. And just as Josh explained, we have, yep, there you go. And the higher levels will be more, critical thinking. You don't have to actually have read the article. You have to have understanding of the concepts and the application of the concepts.
Right. These are great questions too. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, Anatoly, can I ask you a question? I know you asked about the English language. What language is your instruction in? The rubrics. Josh, you have a question about the rubrics? Russian and English. Okay.
So the rubrics are provided directly on the Resource Center site. If you go, there's a link that is called integration on the Resource Center that will allow you to go through and see, depending on the discipline that you're looking for, you can pull up one of those, what we call the course classroom integration guides, and there are rubrics provided within those. Oh, in addition, I do want to mention while we're on the topic, so the questions, you'll notice some of the questions will be, short answer questions. And the advisory board members do provide you with, all the correct answers. And then they also provide you with the suggested answers for those other evaluation type questions or the short answer questions. So you'll be able to see those. When you provide a quiz to the students, all of the questions, if they're multiple choice questions, those will be graded automatically through our system. Whereas any of those short answer questions, then we give that option. We give you the ability to grade. We don't grade those questions automatically. All right. Any other questions? These have been great questions. Yes. Can you filter discipline and competency? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. So you can filter if you're interested in articles that relate both to finance and maybe also business ethics. You can filter your search that way as well.
And Josh, can you go to the slide that shows how articles are grouped by competency, by academic discipline, by industry, by geographical region, and so forth?
So all of the, is it up now on your side?
Yep, yep.
Perfect. So all of these that you see here are the different ways that we ask the writers to tag the articles and the article summaries. You can search, these are the ways that you can search the actual article summary. And then also, if you're creating a quiz, you can search based on this as well. And I can give you, if you're interested, I'd be happy in doing a more in-depth demonstration of the quiz if you would like, at a later time for you.
And just to kind of add, when you are creating customized exam or quiz, you will be able to select questions based on academic disciplines on each of these criteria, plus on the type of questions you would like to include. So would you like to include multiple choice answer questions? Would you like to include open-ended or short answer questions? And in addition to that, you will be able to select the degree of difficulty questions. As Josh showed earlier, the different types or the levels of difficulty questions you can select depending on at the beginning of the school year or middle or end, or depending on where your students are within your academic program. You will be able to put together an assessment exam that's more covering more foundational knowledge areas or more related to the actual assignment reading of the article versus higher level thinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other questions out there? Okay, exam one is again. So as far as the format of the quiz, that's customizable. So It could be a mixture of multiple choice questions and short answer questions. It could be a mixture of the article comprehension, dig deeper, or the evaluation type questions. As far as the number of questions, that's completely up to you. And then there are some other features that we're looking to include to enhance the customization options for the quiz feature. But essentially, we want to give you guys complete control over that. To build the quiz exactly how you need it.
And one thing I also wanted to add, Josh, if that's okay with you, is that you can exactly make it as an interim assignment. Can it look okay? For now, most of our academic advisory board member summaries that I have produced are based on Bloomberg Businessweek articles, and they do have freedom and an opportunity to write up article summaries in that wider definition from all publicly available resources. So if there is an article from The Economist, from Financial Times, and so forth that our reviewer finds appropriate for his or her discipline and the topics that they cover, they will be able to include that in our Education Resource Center. And you can answer the next question, Josh.
Can it look like an interim assignment? An interim assignment. I'm not quite sure how to answer that question. Can you expound on that one? If we Yes. So when we developed the quiz feature, we did so with the idea of making it kind of multi-use. And so again, you can use it as a way to, for short weekly assignments if you want to integrate the resource center into the classroom using the article summaries, and then do a quiz maybe at the end of the week regarding those summaries that you've used. But also, you could use it in a more comprehensive type setting as well as a midterm. We'll look in the future about having custom question options as well, so that you could add your own questions to that. Currently, that's not an option, but again, because you can add so many questions, whether that maybe aren't article specific, but are more discipline specific or competency based type questions, you could use it in a setting like that. I would say as part of that. There would probably be some additional questions that you might want to add, just because, like I said, at this moment, you can't do the custom questions to add. And so I think that would kind of limit your options when it comes to midterms, but it could be used as a piece of that, yes. Yes, the quiz can be compiled of several disciplines and competencies. Again, based on this slide that you see right here, you can cross-reference any of these areas when you're searching for questions or article type. And maybe Antonelli, maybe it would be for us, we could set some time aside, and then I could actually give you a full demonstration of the quiz feature and how you could use it. Because there's a lot of aspects too that I think would be great to show you, as far as how the summary or how the quiz links are sent to the students, and some of those different nuances surrounding that. And yeah, I'll touch base with you guys. statistics. I think there is. I'll have to double check. It may not be listed on this this list, but I do believe there should be.
Can I add something? So, Anatoly, I know some of your questions were more generic, and I was thinking maybe if you take a look at our assessment exam topics, and if you're looking for a program level or track level evaluation of student learning assessment, that might be a good place to see. And on the assessment side, we have statistics, we have the quantitative research methods, and stats is one of them, and then those align specifically to the accreditation body business core topical coverage requirement. Oh, you're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you for all the great questions. With that said, I think it would be what I can do is I can just follow up with you guys with a recording of this, and as well as this same presentation that I provided. I'll provide some demo instructions, and then I can follow up specific or individually with you guys as well to address any questions that you might have regarding any of the particular features. Again, I'm happy to do an additional demo for other faculty members or for yourself if you're looking to know more about the quiz feature or any of the other features. I would be happy to do set that up as well.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Yes, tomorrow's webinar will cover the same information.
But might be different questions. Thank you, Josh.
Yes, might be different questions. All right, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.